on issue 3 now of Deadzone, so that's the halfway mark. Um,
Yeah.
Issue 4 is right around the corner. And that leaves one more after that, which is crazy, right? It's 6, or is it 8 issues?
Dead Zone is a 6-issue series
Yeah.
if it doesn't get renewed.
Yes. And
But yeah, I guess we're gonna
they're
get.
seasonal. Deadzone and Starship are going to be seasonal series, so
Yeah,
they're
I
gonna.
guess we're gonna get into issue 3 now
Yeah,
for
might as well.
Godzilla Dead Zone issue 3. A pretty neat issue. Lot less action in it, so that you actually had some time to actually develop the story and get a little bit more
Yeah,
background on these characters. And I feel like it was a really good halfway point at the end. Like,
yeah,
this is like a really good place to be like, all right, we got 3 more issues. I don't feel rushed into an ending, but I feel like probably over the next 2 issues, we're going to develop. And I guess we'll get into it at the end of this review, but I'm wondering where on the timeline this takes place
that's kind of what I'm
compared to the
wondering.
main series.
That's kind of what I'm wondering too.
Because before this issue, I thought that they were kind of running concurrent.
Yeah,
Now I'm thinking either this is before or after,
yeah.
or like in the middle somewhere on the arcs.
And
But
one of the things about this series is it's clearly being narrated. It's something that has happened already in the past because it's being narrated by somebody, and it's almost like somebody's telling this story of the Wanderer, Glass Eater, and Runt. Uh, and towards the end, he makes a statement about people outside the wall, and one of the people that we know associated with the Dead Zone from the mainline series is Nuki, and he refers to a connection that's female, I believe. It
yeah,
sounded like that could possibly help get people outside the wall. Uh, and we know from the previous issue of Godzilla that Nuki was like, yeah, there's just people suffering and hungry in that dead zone. So she's got a soft spot for the people of the dead zone. So I'm wondering if she could possibly be the one narrating the story. Can you imagine this series, the final issue? It starts to like wrap up and it kind of like then zooms out and it's like Nuki like at a campfire like next to Jason just like telling him the story of the Wanderer.
yeah. I
Because it
feel like
even starts off like a tall tale almost too. That's something told around a campfire.
yeah. No, it definitely does make sense. But I guess we'll kick off with the issue now. So it starts where we left off with the Wanderer and the 2 kids escaping through the forest from the Church of Godzilla. And during this run, the Wanderer starts un transforming, I guess you'd say, from his rage mode, getting a little bit smaller, getting a little bit more tired. So he's got to take a break, and the Glass Eater and Runt are like, this is literally the worst time for this to happen. Why are you being an old man right
They're
now?
like, yeah, transfer him back, and he's like, it doesn't work like that. He's like, he can't control it apparently,
Yeah.
which is a pretty interesting aspect to his
Yeah.
condition. One of the cool things about like one of the opening shots in here with him running through the forest holding the 2 kids, there's like a lizard thing that kind of looks like a frog combined with like Varan kind of. And then there's these like pink things that literally look like a combination of like the Shy Guy, a rabbit, and I don't know what the hell else. But there's all these weird, like, you know, it's the Dead Zone. There's all these weird creatures, but these like Shy Guy creatures are there. And then one of them just kind of like lingers around for like a portion of their stop in the forest here. They're just kind of hanging out by Glass Eater and Runt's feet.
Yeah.
And right before they're like, listen, we got to get out of here. It's bad. Right before that happens, there's a shot where it zooms out and you see it take off, and it takes off right before the Kumongaling appears.
Yeah. So Glass Eater and Runt explain that the Church of Godzilla views them as the anti-messiahs, and they are going to I guess, combined with Godzilla to cause the end of humanity.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they think that they are capable of. So there's a Kumongaling that does show up. I thought it was pretty cool because at first I was like, it wasn't super spidery, but it was like kind of a spider. So I was like, oh, I'm like, that's like a cool little like Kumonga shout out. But then when they said Kumongaling, I'm like, oh my god, it actually is.
Yeah.
So the Wanderer is fighting, but obviously he's untransformed, so he can't really keep up with this size of a kaiju, which it's maybe like a 10-foot kaiju or something. It's not massive. So he's just about to get hit, and then Runt comes in, who's the older child, not the younger child, and he shows what their ability is, which they're able to not only, it looks like, communicate with these kaiju and like kind of pacify them, but they also can go into them and like pilot them.
Yeah. Which we did see in the first issue.
Yeah, but it was very unclear. Like, we had theorized that they were piloting them, but we never fully got confirmation that's what it was. Like, do they transform or like what?
Yeah.
But we figured they were probably piloting the kaiju. But so they are able to ride the Kumongaling, and it looks like while inside, Runt is able to speak with the Kumongaling. So he's like, "Yeah, this is just a baby Kumonga," and he's like, "I'm not a baby. I'm 4 years old." So they get to the like where they can be resting inside of this cave, and when Runt exits the Kumongaling, I guess it's too traumatic because it's like a bio merger type of thing. Like, he gets like encapsulated in like its tissue, and then he like pops out.
Yeah, and then
So I guess that killed the Kumongaling.
Yeah.
They say it doesn't always kill them.
Yeah.
It sounds like they don't have full control over their abilities yet.
Yeah, because the Wanderer is like, does that kill it? He's like, does it kill the thing every time? He's like, well, not always. He goes, well, not. Well, what do they say? What's the wording? He says something.
It sounds like they don't do it on purpose. Like, they can't control whether or not it's going to kill it.
Yeah.
And then Glass Eater goes over and checks to make sure it's dead.
Yeah. He goes, not intentionally is what he says when they ask if he kills him. And the Kumongaling, not only, so it reminds me of the Violator from Spawn, that monster. It's got these like pincer things, like which the original Kumongaling. But then the weird thing about the Kumongaling is it's got like teeth. Like
it looked like it was like kind of ant-like.
It had
like a spider ant or something.
But it had a full mouth. No insects have teeth like that. It was like a full mouth of like human teeth, like square, like our teeth. Like, it was a little creepy looking.
Yeah.
But yeah, they find a cave. They camp down, and it's kind of interesting. They're like, "Oh, do you think you're gonna be our new dad?" Like Ron says, and throughout this, you're kind of like, "Oh, look, Runt's kind of got the same haircut as the Wanderer." They're all blonde, and even Glass Eater mentions that they have the same eyes. So I'm really thinking these are his kids. And it's been slightly...
He like alludes to the fact that he might have had kids.
Yes.
But like, he's not very open about his past at all. As the narrator even
and he
says,
doesn't
they're
even...
going to find something out later on.
And he doesn't really remember his past, it seems like, too.
I think he doesn't want to remember...
Could be.
...his past, because... basically what happens is they have a bit of a discussion in the cave, and we kind of get a little bit of each person's motivations, but like not too much. And then Godzilla comes walking by inside of the Deadzone, which was a tip off to me that this clearly could not be happening at the same time as the mainline Godzilla series. Timeline wise, it just wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So and during that's when the Wanderer is like, he took everything from me. That's why he's the reason why I am who I am today. Took my wife, and then he's like, he took my, and then he kind of like trailed off.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything else after that. I mean, it's undeniable that the Wanderer looks extremely like Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's like he's mutating into a small Godzilla, it looks like.
And the interesting thing here is, which we'll get into very shortly, is maybe he was somewhat created by Godzilla, but it's also implied in issue 4 of Godzilla that Lament was created by Godzilla.
Yeah.
And so Godzilla could be responsible for creating all this life.
Well, it seems like against that life's will.
Yeah, exactly. But who knows? Yeah, so Godzilla's there in the Deadzone, and now it's getting pretty serious. And,
yeah. So right now the plan is to get the kids outside of the Deadzone, and again, this is when he alludes to his contact outside, which we think is, it would make sense if it was Nuki. It could be just a random person as well.
Yeah.
But it would be a nice tie-in if it was Nuki. Like
yeah.
Older. So I firmly think that this is in the past.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I don't think that this is in the future. I mean, they could, but I just feel narratively like it would be weird. And then plus, I mean, if we're going to get into slight spoilers, which, is it a spoiler if you put out a giant news presser that Godzilla's going to die in issue 6? Which...
He's not dying. Yeah.
He's not dying. They literally have the Death of Superman artwork for the issue.
And they already said
he's not dying.
They already said he's going to evolve. I think there's even been pictures of like this newer form.
Yeah, I try not to go too much into the spoilers of the series, but when you literally release the cover and have a giant press conference and then be like, there's going to be a huge Godzilla announcement, it's kind of hard to avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what's going on.
One of the interesting things that came up with this is when they were talking about their nicknames, that they picked them out, and that Mother A Fallout didn't approve of them. She was the leader of the Church of Godzilla.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell I missed this last issue, but Mother A is basically like Mothra.
Yes.
I don't know how the hell I missed that.
She's even dressed like Mothra.
Well, she is dressed like Mothra, but the word Mother A is basically like Mothra in a way. If you look at it, I was like,
I thought that was very apparent.
I don't know how the hell I missed that. I don't know. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, but yeah. Runt's main goal for getting outside the wall of the Deadzone is because he wants to read more books. Runt does seem like a very smart kid. He seems like he's a lot more smarter than he lets on. Yes. And Glass Eater's just trying to be really abrasive and like tough, and like her whole, she picked out her name because it says "Don't fuck with me."
I think she's your stereotypical like street kid trope.
Yeah.
Where it's like puts out the tough exterior, but on the inside we'll probably find that she's like a little bit sweeter than that.
Yeah. But the thing is, these two kids have also been really heavily brainwashed by the Church of Godzilla, and they do heavily believe in the Church of Godzilla.
Yeah.
Stuff that they've been groomed with. Yeah. So the Wanderer knows that them with Godzilla is probably not a good thing, so that's his best interest, is to get them out of the Deadzone for their safety and probably for the world's safety.
Yeah.
And we know the next tease is that there's going to be a giant test coming in the next issue. That's at the end there. And then even for issue 5, they show the giantess fighting a what looks like Baragon on the cover. And
it looked straight like Baragon to me.
Yeah. And I said, one of the things that I was just saying today when I was looking at that cover, because they're like, oh, get your orders in for issue 5, I was like, wouldn't it be funny if, like, as a nod to, like, Frankenstein Conquers the World, if the giantess's name was, like, Francesca or something?
Yeah.
Francesca Stein.
Steam.
Steen.
It's not Frankenstein. It's Frankenstein.
Versus, versus Baragon. That would be interesting.
I would really love it if they would actually do like a Frankenstein shout out. I mean, obviously, I feel like that's what that cover was trying to emulate. It was very much the Frankenstein standing over the pit, or Baragon type of thing.
Yeah, I think there's also one of the covers where I think it does look like he's like swinging Baragon by the tail too. I think there's a poster like that. But yeah, really digging the Deadzone series. I mean, so far this whole Kaisei era Godzilla universe has been solid. We've only got one issue of Starship Godzilla. I think issue 2 might be next week. I think. I feel like it's been so long. But I can't wait for that.